everybody, I'm Joey.
And I'm Alex.
And now we are looking at a game called Featherlight.
Yes.
By WizKids. This right here is similar to Marvel Remix and Fantasy Realms. So we're going to take a look at Featherlight and, well, first of all, let's see how it's played.
Let's do that.
Okay, this is how to play the game Featherlight. Right here we are set up for a 4-player game. Everybody has 5 cards. Everyone's got 5 cards in their hand, and you've got 6 cards in the center. This is called the nest. The cards in the nest, none of the text on here matters. It's just the color of the cards. So this does play very similar to Marvel Remix or Star Trek Missions or Fantasy Realms. So pretty much each person is going to get an option. First, they look at their cards, and you get to grab a card and discard a card. You can either grab it from here, or you can grab it from the nest, one of the face-up cards. So let's take a look at mine here. I have got this black card. This says if the number of these are even, which are black, then I get 7 points at the end of the game. Now, that number is not in my hand. That is here in the nest and my hand. So as of now, there's 1, 2, so I would be getting 7. All right, so here I have 4 plus cards in the nest are identical colors. I get 35. Right now I've got 2 and 2. So here's what I'm going to do. All of these have different abilities like that. Exactly 4 white, and that will be in the nest and in your hand. You get 20. And then here are 4 of the same color in your hand are identical, and that you get 35. So now I've got 2. So pretty much in this one, I'm going to go ahead and grab a card from here. All right, each different color card in my hand is different. I'll get 20. So I'm going to go ahead and try to get that one instead of this. This seems pretty difficult. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this one, and I'm going to place it. I won't cover my white because I'm trying to get that. I'm going to go here. All right, so the next person, it's their turn. So they're going to look at their cards, and they've got this. They need an odd number. Right now it is even for them. The whites are easy. They just give you 5. And this one, each of the purples in the nest, I get 6 points. Right now there are none. So what I am going to do is I kind of like, say I like this white one. This is going to get me 10. I'm going to pull from the nest instead of drawing a card. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to place this one in the nest. Because right here, that's going to give me 6 points if it is face up in the nest. Now, if you pull a card from the nest and there's a gap, you have to discard there. For instance, if the next person decides to then go here and then to discard, then you can discard and cover up any one of these you want to. So say I want to go ahead and place this one here. Now, what's interesting here is now there are 2 black cards in the nest. So it is going to change everyone's card that are going for even and odds in there. So you're going to see them covering, uncovering, back and forth to try to get the nest how you want it when the game ends. So again, when you pull, you can pull from the nest or you can pull from one of these 2 stacks. Now, if one of these stacks gets empty, that's when the game is over. So if you want to prolong the game, you can pull from the center or you can pull from the higher stack. So as soon as these 2 right here, one of them is empty, the game is over and you go to final scoring. And you grab the card, you grab the deck right here. This is the last game we played. And you're going to go ahead and score each card one by one. And at the end, you're going to add it all up and you're going to see who has the most points. So that is Featherlight. How to play that, we're going to send it back to the studio and we're going to see what we thought about it. Okay, so that is how you play Featherlight.
That is it.
Now, not to go into the components so much here. I got to say it again.
Okay.
So that is how you play Featherlight.
There you go. That's it.
So not to go into the components too much because it's cards, it's grade stock, all that stuff.
Yeah.
That's
I was going to say, I do really like the color scheme of this
game.
it is nice. It's not like super in your face.
Right, right. So that's a big thing right there. The other thing is, it is similar to Marvel Remix and Fantasy Realms.
It is. I feel like it's kind of in that same series of them.
Yeah, and Star Trek Missions, but we don't really talk about that one. not a huge fan. So, okay, what did you think? I played this back initially, I think at Dice Tower East, right?
Yeah, I think you did, yeah.
And you played it a couple times.
I did.
Your initial thoughts on it?
I think this is just a great end of the night game. I think this is just what it is. It's a light 20-minute game, so you're not going to have I don't really think there's really many heavy 20-minute games out there. But I just think it's just a nice way to end the night.
I like that too. I like the nest. Like I said, it's so similar to the other ones, but the nest in the middle,
yes,
it just adds that element of kind of take that, where you can not only take the card that somebody else wants, but cover the card where somebody wants. And that just adds an element of not just take that, but chaos.
Oh, absolutely. This game does have a lot of luck. Like, we've played this game many times, and every time I've got maybe a card that I've had from a previous game, and I feel like even though I've had the same cards every time, I still have to have a different strategy because it depends on what cards I have in my hand, what cards are in the nest. Everything changes, and that is a huge luck component to it, you know?
Yeah, and you tried the last time we played to go, the white cards are just points.
Yeah.
Those don't depend on the nest at all.
No.
So you think, if I just get these white cards, but you can't get as many points by just going with the white cards.
No, you do really have to look at what's in the nest and use your cards in your hand to kind of go with the nest. They have to kind of complement each other, and it's hard to get cards that do that.
Yeah, and the biggest thing is, it's funny, like, I think it's either black or purple. They're the ones that give you points if there's an odd number in your hand of the nest.
I think that there's a black card.
Even number. And it's pretty funny because you know what people are doing. It makes everybody like an actor, like an Oscar award-winning performer here. Yeah. Because you'll look at it, you'll be like, oh, look at this card from the nest. Do I want this? And then you'll just go ahead and place it back over another card, which everyone knows what you're doing. You're either trying to get rid of the card you covered up, or you're trying to reveal the card that you took it off of. So it's pretty fun to see people fake it, because you don't want other people to know what you're going for. But even if you did, you don't know what they have in their hand, and there's this balancing act, you know?
There is a lot. You have to kind of really look at what other people are doing too, and know kind of what you're going to have to do. There's strategy to this game, but like I said, there is still a lot of luck to it too. I do also like how if you have a good hand and you want that game to be over before the nest is ruined, you can just start taking cards off that pile just to kind of get the game to end. Why, if you're like, oh, I'm not there yet, you can go through the nest to kind of slow the game down. So it does, you've got those two things there that kind of help you each time play it a different way.
It is pretty funny how you know the people that have a good hand that they're proud of already, because they're just wailing through that, just try to end that game as soon as possible. Because the biggest thing about like Fantasy Realms and Marvel Remix is there's a lot of badges and things like that to memorize. I mean, Star Trek Missions is just like Rhodes Scholar. There's so much going on. But the other ones, I think this is a good kind of gateway into those.
Yes.
And not just, I don't say a gateway game, because I think gamers like this too. But it's not as mind-numbing as trying to figure out those combinations in Remix and Fantasy Realms,
I was going to say, there's a lot more combinations you need to know, particularly in Marvel Remix, to, you know, why if you don't know any of that stuff, this is kind of a good entry game into that.
Yes.
And into that mechanic of building up your hand, going off the cards in the middle, that kind of mechanic there, this is a good kind of intro to that.
Now, I think there's a lot more randomness in this.
Oh, absolutely.
You agree?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah,
because you can't control who puts what card where.
You cannot. You can have the nest perfect at the end of your turn, but you might have 3 or 4 other people, or even one person out. You know, they change everything, and then you're out of luck.
Exactly.
You know?
So if you like Marvel Remix and Fantasy Realms, then this is a great one to check out. It's a bit lighter, more fun, and it plays so quick, and it's easy to teach. It, again, checks all the boxes.
I was going to say, this is a great game, too, even if you're just looking for games to end the night with. You've played something heavy. You need something light to play just before people leave. This is a great game. I think you can never have too many of these games.
Yeah, in the last couple game nights, this has hit the table every time at the end.
Oh, every time. Yeah.
So, okay, what would you give it?
I would give it an 8.
You'd give it an 8?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I thought I really liked it, and I give it a 6.5.
Really?
Yeah, now I love the game. I do like the game a lot. But with gamers and things, I'd probably stick to Fantasy Realms or Marvel Remix. But 6, and I mean, it might be low, but I think I'd give it.
Yeah, I think that's low for you. I was thinking this is a great game because I know when we play Fantasy Realms and Marvel Remix, you play it once and then you move on to another game. While this, you play over and over and over again because people want to play it again.
I think it's the randomness that does get it, because you can have everything banking on only 2 black feathers showing up in the middle, and then the last time somebody drops one over it, and it's like, ugh. But it's, I guess. Wow, you give it an 8.
I do give it an 8. I'm surprised you gave it a 6.5. I thought you would give it higher.
Huh, okay. Yeah, so anyway, that is Featherlight.
That's it.
So if you like those other games, just seriously check it out, because I do love it.
Yeah.
And apparently she loves it more than me.
I do love it a lot.
Surprise.
Surprise.
So, all right, hey, thanks guys.
Bye.
Bye.